right. All right, everybody. Welcome to our Talking Real Estate segment here every Wednesday at 12 o'clock, or roughly right around there once we get live. So it's Champions Real Estate Team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Ambassador Real Estate Company. My name's Mark Wayner II. Joining us today on our live chat is Russ Williams with Arbor Bank. And then we have Rich Howdle with he's a member of the Champions Real Estate Team. And then we have Jeff Peterson as well with the Champions Real Estate Team here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Ambassador Real Estate Company. So what we do like to do is every Wednesday get together, just kind of give you a short rundown of what's gone on in the market in the last week. We know obviously the market doesn't change huge, drastic changes week to week, but it's good to keep an idea of what's going on out there, on the ground. So what we're seeing here, I'll get on our normal diagram here. So this is what's going on. Basically, over the last week, we had 419 new listings. I think it's about 425 now. When I looked, just about 1145 or so. I didn't update the graphic here. But new contracts, that's contracts being written in the last week. We are up about 50 or 60 from last week. So obviously more people are out there looking to write those contracts. More houses came on the market than last week. Sold homes are about normal where we're at through that process. So as we're kind of people finally getting settled down with how schools, being remote or even being in-person schools. So it's kind of one of those, and maybe sometimes when the kids are in school, we can actually go out and look at some houses in that aspect of it. So I think people are finally starting to get into a routine just from the daily living. And that's obviously reflective in the new contracts that were written this week. So we're still at historic lows from an aspect of houses being on the market. From our inventory, I'll show you our trend graphics report here real quick. Jump on, here we go. So as we look at the trend graphics report here, so these current month from a year ago, as we see here from July of 19 to July of 20, we're down 30%. When we look at the same time last year, August, the first couple weeks, and then we're down about 42%. So we're seeing that, but we're seeing pendings, basically number of contracts written. So even though we don't have the houses on the market, we are still feeling the market is very active as far as from buyers' perspective of there are buyers out there. We just need the homes out there. So I think, we're kind of in that constant conundrum of, sellers, well, I don't have a place to go, so I don't want to put my house on the market. Well, that's something that here at Champions, we can kind of put that verbiage in the contract, when we do get an accepted contract on your house, and make it contingent upon you finding a house to purchase. And a lot of those buyers, they're out there and they're willing to wait. If they find a house that they want to be in, they're willing to wait, maybe an extra couple of weeks so that you can find your house. But interest rates, we'll kind of jump into that with Russ Williams here. The rates are, to my knowledge, are still at historic lows going forward. So I'll let him kind of touch on the rates.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully your air conditioners are continuing to work. It looks like we might have a break later this week. That'll be nice. We are seeing interest rates continuing to hold steady. By and large, that's partially because the Fed is a continued buyer, trying to keep the market stable, and will probably be here for a little bit, although they do ebb and flow a little bit from week to week. Last week, we visited a little bit that there was a adverse market fee that was being applied on refinances that might make your refinances a little bit more expensive. And I have some good news for you there. And I also want to give you some things to think about with regards to that. The Federal Housing Finance Agency did decide to postpone the implementation date of that adverse market delivery fee from September 1st until later this year, maybe around December. So that gives you a little bit more time to get your property refinanced. But what I'd like to challenge you with is this. For those of you that might benefit from refinancing and dropping your payment a couple $100, have you ever thought maybe go ahead and keep that same payment, but buy more home? And what I mean there is sell your current home that might be at the higher interest rate to buy a new home at the lower rate that's going to give you roughly the same payment that you're making now. Rates aren't going to get any lower than this, folks. It's just not possible. So if you think in your future you might be able to maybe move into something bigger, better, nicer, newer, whatever it might be, this might be your opportunity. And rather than doing a traditional refinance, just sell your house. Maybe buy another one that gets you a payment the same that you're at today that's very comfortable for you. Any questions, Mark?
No, I mean, I think that's a great point. I mean, that's kind of something that, you know, we worked with you was the last month just refinancing our house that we just built. You know, we just closed on it almost a year ago, this time last year, and we refinanced. And what we did is we were comfortable with our house payment, you know, but we just dropped our loan term. So we went from a 30-year down to a 27-year. We cut 3 years off of our loan. Instead of taking 0.5%, we were at 3.5. Instead of going down to a 3% on the refi, we know we're going to stay in that house a long time. But, you know, kind of on the reverse of what you just kind of discussed is that if you're thinking about moving up, you know, and you're kind of like, oh, in the next couple years, but we're happy with our mortgage payment, you know, that is something. Let's maybe go get a little bit larger house if you need it, you know, or, you know, you downsize or anything to that size, you know, as far as house size. So that's just some of those different options out there. I think, you know, you don't think about, you know, you're not really thinking about it day in and day out, you know, and us here, you know, in the real estate industry, be it us at Champions Real Estate or over at Arbor Bank with Russ, you know, give us a holler so that we can at least give you those options. You know, I've had clients now that are calling me about refinancing, and I just mentioned to them about that, that extra fee that may be on there. And I shot them a couple messages, hey, if you're thinking about it, you need to do it. But this is, you know, great information that's kind of delayed till, you know, potentially the end of the year. You know, for those people that want to do that refinances. And that's our goal here at Champions Real Estate Team, you know, is to basically just educate you and give you those options. Then we can help you. You know, that's our goal, is to help you from, you know, any of your real estate needs, whether it's refinancing, if you need a landscape or anything like that, to help you get into that. But I think that is a good point, that if you're comfortable with the payment, yeah, it'd be great to save a couple $100. But if you want an extra, you know, 500,000 square feet on a house, or an extra bedroom, or, you know, pool, you know, with the hot weather out here now. So that's just something that was a good point to bring up. So, but yeah, that's kind of, you know, what I had to add. Anything else that you guys have? Yeah, because I think the, you know, our listings that we have active right now, we have the Blair listing at 1286 Skyline Drive up in Blair. It's a story and a half, very well maintained, vinyl siding, brick front. Excellent home up there. Got a great lot. You're kind of up on the hill of Blair. As you kind of come into Blair, it's basically up on the left, basically on the west side of the highway there, up on top of the hill, kind of behind the trees up there. So, and the other thing, we have a new listing coming up this Friday, which will be a ranch in the Papillion La Vista School Districts off 114th and Highway 370, just on the northeast side, as I think about it. So we'll get some of that information out on our Facebook page. You know, I believe we're going to go active Friday. We just had pictures yesterday. We may go active Thursday, just depending on kind of timeline of when we get those pictures back and stuff like that. So, but as always, give us a holler if you have any questions, you know, or anything to that regards with regard to real estate. We're happy to help you. You know, that's our goal, is to help coach and educate you to make the best financial decision for you. And even in that refi, you know, if you have a lot of equity, maybe is it time to start looking at real estate investment? You know, looking at an investment property and maybe put a big, you know, buy real estate with real estate. You know, you're kind of keeping that good debt, you know, in that aspect of it. And then that other rental property, investment property may help pay off that mortgage. And then you just kind of snowball it in that effect. So everything kind of has a attachment to it. So those are all things that we want to be here to help you do. So anything else you had to add, Rich, Russ, or Jeff?
I'm good.
What's that?
I think you covered it.
All right. Yeah, we kept it.
I think you covered it. Thank you.
Yeah, so we kept it short and sweet today. So as always, if you have any questions, give Jeff Peterson, Rich Howell, Russ Williams over at Arbor Bank, and myself, Mark Wayner, here at Champions Real Estate Team at Berkshire Hathaway. We are constantly working, you know, even with the COVID stuff, we, you know, wear our masks, you know, and just have that social distancing. I can talk here. But yeah, we have virtual tours. We have our Matterport 3D tours. I just got that done yesterday at the house in Papillion. It's about just straight under 3,200 square foot ranch. So it'll be a great ranch for somebody as they come up. So give me a holler if you have any questions on that, or the house in Blair. And I know Jeff and Rich sold their the house in Mayberry off of Pacific Ridge, and then Rich sold his mobile home over by Tranquility. So those are getting in the process of rocking and rolling. So give us a holler if you have any questions, and have a great week, and stay cool out there. So take care.